What's going on, everyone? So, obviously, the Dallas Mavericks made a huge blunder, right? Trading Luka. You just don't do that. It's the silliest thing. Dallas fans are in absolute shambles right now, and rightfully so, right? Like, I would be furious too. This would be like trading Kobe when he was 25. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what are we talking about here, right? Like, so I get the frustration. Obviously, you can't take it back. What's done is done. It's too late. But I would be more mad if I was a Mavs fan at the way that they are handling this than anything. Because you're not just looking foolish on the Luka situation. You are sending a huge red flag to all the other teams, all the other stars, right? And at some point, Anthony Davis and Kyrie and these other guys, they're not going to be here. And at some point, Dallas is going to need new stars. And Dallas is one of those teams that, hey, this guy might go, oh, okay, well, what about Dallas, right? Like, for a long time, until they got Kyrie and stuff like that, like, Dallas was a place where it was like, no state tax, right? Back when Mark Cuban was the owner, good ownership, right? Like, all these things. You had this, like, perception of Dallas, right? Dallas is willing to do whatever it takes. Mark Cuban kind of, like, revolutionized the organizations and got them jets and all this. Like, there was this reputation, right? And Dallas had success with that reputation. And they were able to get and build some very good teams over the years since Mark Cuban took over. But now all you've done is made other teams know I can't trust you. If I'm a big star, right? And, I'm like, man, whatever, let's say that they go and they draft another guy in a couple years, right? It's like, man, I could go to Dallas or let's say two stars, want to pair up. Like, let's say the Brooklyn Nets situation. Why would they go to Dallas? Because they're going to look at it as like, at any moment, if the organization, not me, the organization feels like, we don't like this guy no more. He's gone. And then not only that, but then you're going to drag me through the mud. I mean, we're still getting reports. This happened like 3 days ago. We're still getting reports about how management was done with Luka and he's overweight. Like, we literally just watched an organization fat shame their superstar, top 2 to 5 talent in the league, and trade him for half of what they probably would have gotten on the open market. It's not that they just traded him, which was dumb enough in and of itself, but it's then they decided, like, we're just going to mop this blood and we're just going to, it's just like, what are you doing? And it's just like watching Nico Harris's press conference. Dude, Jason Kidd looked like done, right? Like that, like Jason Kidd's just like, he's just like, I just wanted to like see in the background, the like, hello darkness, my old, like that's literally all I saw. I just saw, he was just like, I just heard that song playing, and I was just like, poor kid, man. He's just like, but Nico did every time they try to bring Kid into it. He was like, this had nothing to do with Kid. This was all me, right? Like, but again, it's just like, the more he opens his mouth, like the dude made like 2 statements before that interview, and like each one got progressively worse. It was just like, dude, can you just stop talking? Right? Like, and look, I'm not a Dallas fan. Many of you watch this channel. Many of you are familiar with me. I'm a Laker guy. So I am very happy for Luka. I really think Nico should win GM of the year alongside Rob Pelinka. Those two really did some work, and I appreciate that. But as a basketball fan, and as like somebody that is a fan of an organization that I can envision and put myself in that situation, like, man, what would have happened when I was growing up and Kobe was our guy? And they just like, I don't know, Kobe didn't want to get traded, nothing. Like, the opposite happened. Kobe wanted out, and they were like, nah, not happening. Sorry, my guy. Like, nah, you're staying. You're not going anywhere, right? Like, it was like the total opposite of what Dallas just did. Like, I could understand the frustration. But then imagine if after that, let's imagine if they traded Kobe, and then after trading Kobe, they just started talking about how he's this menace and this, that, and the other, right? Like, or when they traded Shaq, right? When they had to make Shaq and Kobe scenario, right? Obviously, Laker fans were super happy about that at the time, but it wasn't like to the level of Luka. Because again, Luka was like the guy that they drafted, franchise guy, but people weren't happy about Shaq. It'd be like after they sent out Shaq, the organization was like, well, he's out of shape every time, every offseason. Like, we all knew Shaq was out of shape every year. Kobe made it very clear, but it wasn't the organization. That's the difference, right? The organization, Lakers organization, say what you want about them, they repeatedly have shown, like, hey, we take care of our stars. Kobe, we all love Kobe, right? But that max contract towards the end made zero sense from a basketball side. That was just pure love. Like, you're our guy. If we have to be bad for a couple years, so be it, right? He tore his Achilles, all that stuff, right? They gave him that money. And everybody, even Laker fans and non-Laker fans were all like, why? Right? Like, we love Kobe. We don't want to see him leave. Pay him what you have to keep him. But, like, we're going to be pretty bad for a while, right? Strap in. And, we strapped in. And it's just like, again, it's like, but that's why LeBron, in part why LeBron came. I mean, LeBron went to the Lakers for his family, right? But it's in part why LeBron went, right? And so on and so forth. It sends a good perception to the organization, to stars. Hey, not only do you come here to beautiful LA and stuff, but on top of that, you get a great organization that's going to do whatever they can for you. Whatever you need, whatever you want. We're going to do that for you. Right? Like, but now Dallas, again, because I know somebody's going to be like, I can already see it, right? Somebody's going to be like, well, they surprised Anthony Davis. Yes, they did, which sucks for AD. But they also got the better player. He also wasn't drafted by them, right? Like, it's not the same scenario. Like, there are 100 differences between the Luka situation in Dallas and Anthony Davis situation in LA. Oh, and by the way, the Lakers didn't bash Anthony Davis right after they traded him. They praised him and said, thank you so much, and released a statement immediately. Dallas literally just last night released a thank you video from them. Like, Lakers had that done within like 20 minutes. And we're just like, oh, we love you, da-da-da-da, right? Like, did what you were supposed to do, right? And everybody in the world, Laker fans and non-Laker fans, even if you're not a fan of Luka, there's a lot of people that I saw that were like, I don't like that we got Luka. But everyone understands it, right? Even if you're not a fan of Luka, even if you didn't want Luka on the Lakers, even if you think Luka and LeBron aren't going to work, whatever, you understood it. 25-year-old superstar that's all NBA, second to fifth best player in the league, that's 25 years old, and instead of having post Anthony Davis for 2 years, now you have Luka for 10, right? Like, all of that. Like, it's justifiable. You can understand it, right? And yes, should they maybe have told Anthony Davis beforehand? Sure, but also you gotta, like, the issue isn't that they didn't say anything to anybody, right? Yes, Luka would be undercut. Yes, Anthony Davis would be undercut. Sure, they'd be upset, but it's the way that both sides handled it after, right? Everyone involved understood. We cannot say anything because if we know fans are not going to be happy, and then also we're going to have disgruntled stars on our hand, right? If Anthony Davis knows we're trying to trade him, you don't think he's going to be like, get me out of here. Like, what? Like, no. Like, why am I going to stay after you just try to trade me? Right? Same thing with Luka. So they had to keep it hush-hush. People understand that. People grasp it. But you have two organizations that have handled the post-trade situation completely different. And that's Dallas's biggest fault right now. Dallas needs to just shut up. They need to just stay. Like, Nico Harris needs to just stop. But we keep getting reports and, sources indicate. Like, it's just like, dude, you're just digging that grave over and over, and you already don't have a future. You already don't have draft picks. Now, what stars are going to want to go to Dallas? Right? Like, what stars are going to be like, oh, yeah, let's go to Dallas, where the organization is just going to, as soon as they think I'm irrelevant, are just going to ship me out and not even tell me. And then bash me after. And then talk about how I'm this, that, and the other after. It is terrible. It's such a dumb decision. But it keeps happening. It wasn't just like the initial, first two, reasons why, and then just moved on. No, it was like those, and then the press conference, and then we keep getting reports from the media. It's like, dude, can somebody just tell them to just hey, yeah, we're done. That was 3 days ago. Can we stop? Anthony Davis is, releasing statements saying how he's excited. Him and Max Christie are on a plane. Can we stop? But Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with my points? Disagree with my points? What do you think of this mess? However you feel, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.